Good morning, Mr. President. Thanks for seeing me again. Do you like my hat? You know what this is? The Twin Towers. Remember 9/11? You like it? Oh, you say you have one better. Okay. All right. Yesterday, I left off by presenting to you our concerns about one aspect, Mr. President. Not everything about you. I'm not here to, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome, nor do I have Trump worship syndrome. That would not be fair. Neither one is fair to you. Oh, yeah. I'm all for you, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, because you are a president, not because you're Donald Trump, because you are a president. And I want our president, my country, our country, to succeed in all good intentions. I want to help you. And if you see somebody you care about going over a cliff, what do? You warn them. Sometimes you have to warn them rather forcefully, right? You don't worry about whether they're going to like you or not, whether they're going to fire you or not. You warn them if they're going over a cliff and taking a whole country with them. So that's why I'm here, to support you. And I'm talking about one particular concern, not everything about your policies, just one thing, but it's a vital thing, and that was the rhetoric. And how important that is, and how devastating it is if the rhetoric is not correct, and especially if it's not honest. Now, Mr. President, you should know what I'm talking about. You especially, because you see, Mr. President, did we not go to war with Iran? In large part, based on their rhetoric? Death to America, the great Satan! Death to America, the great Satan! For 50 years. That was one of the reasons we went, right? Because those words mean something. We took them seriously. And as they used that rhetoric and were developing nuclear weapons, it was all the more reason we had to do something about it, which you have done, and which you are to be, I believe, complimented for, at least for that. But you see, rhetoric can work the other way as well. It can backfire on us as well. And I've taken issue with the rhetoric that has come out of yourself and your administration because it will backfire on America and already is. You see, Mr. President, you notice we're losing our allies already when you need them? Why? Because of your rhetoric. At the beginning of the war, England said they would bring ships. They would come to help us. And you said, we don't need you. You guys just come along to get the glory after we've done all the heavy lifting, after we've won the war. Now you're angry at them because they're not coming. Why do you think they're not coming? Mr. President, a little bit of history. You know history. World War II. You know what helped to create a Hitler? Rhetoric and the disrespect that Germany was given after World War I. Yes, they were part to blame for it, but they were treated mercilessly by the Western world. And a little boy grows up hearing that rage, feeling that injustice, and it grows in him and grows in him, and he becomes a Hitler. Do you know why Japan fought against us in World War II? They felt disrespected at the Treaty of Versailles. They felt put down. They fought on our side, and they were disrespected afterwards. So that rage grew in them, and they turned against us to the point where they would not stop fighting us. They would not stop, unfortunately, until the atom bombs came. Do you understand how powerful rhetoric is? Now, just recently, Mr. President, you said things like, oh, we'll bomb the oil fields of Iran just for fun. Mr. President, you can't speak this way and represent America. It's like you're some kind of piker, some kind of amateur, some kind of playground bum, playground bully, an adolescent playing war games. That we can speak that callously about something like bombing oil fields? Bombing the infrastructure of a nation? What will those people, if they come out from under the tyranny of that regime that you want them to go out there and take over your country, They'll come and take over it and come out to what? No means of economy because we bombed it? And to say it that callously, do you think that those people, those Iranian people, who even named the street after you, kept calling you, Trump, come and help us. They had faith in you. Do you think they still feel the same way when you talk that way? It's going to bomb your oil fields because it's for fun. You're losing their support too, Mr. President. I'm here to tell you that because your staff won't tell you that. I will. Because I care. I want you to succeed. I know this is rough for you. And your talk yesterday, you know what else? I listened to your speech yesterday. You were gushing over our B-2 bombers. You even asked someone to give you a little model of it. You act like this was some kind of precious jewel, precious gem. And you talked about our beautiful bombs. Look at our bomb. No one has bombs like us. Oh, Mr. President, is that really the boast of America? We should speak in terms of regretting that we have to use these terrible bombs. I'm not saying we should regret fighting evil. Do you understand? Because you know your supporters don't. They misunderstand me. They don't seem to get it. They don't seem to understand the distinctions. We don't gloat over having to bomb anyone. Yes, we have to fight evil. Do you understand the difference? But you don't gloat over it any more than a surgeon gloats over, look how deeply I cut this person. You know, I cut them all up. You should see how much blood. Oh, I cut them up. Really? Aren't I a great surgeon? Would you want a surgeon saying that? Or you want him saying, I'm sorry, we have to make some cuts here. I'll try to minimize it. We'll minimize your pain, and we'll try to minimize your scar, especially if you're a young lady. Let's face it. Isn't that what you would want? You want him saying, oh, look at this scalpel. Isn't it sharp? Oh, man, I cut you deeply. Ooh, what a beautiful scalpel I got. It's the same thing, Mr. President. And it's alienating the whole world against us. And it enrages, just like in the case of Japan and Hitler, it enrages people. And they don't forget. And some cultures, like in the East, which is another thing your advisors don't tell you, but I'll tell you, in the Eastern cultures, they're very, very honor-based. And when you dishonor them, they remember that forever. And it might take them years, decades, and centuries, but they're going to get you back for that. A little word of advice you're not getting from anyone, obviously, because if you were, you wouldn't be using that kind of rhetoric, because that kind of rhetoric will mean death for Americans. Deaths for Americans, which will be on your rhetoric, Mr. President. Another thing, very important. You're probably going to say very soon, we've won the war. Well, we've won a piece of it, maybe, but we've lost the other piece of it. There's more than one war going on here. It's kind of like double layered. What comes after all the bombing, all of our proud, beautiful bombing, is something we're afraid of that you know we can't do. And if we try, we'll lose. That's why you ask the Europeans to send their ships and the Chinese. And that is what comes next. How do you root out the terrorism that is hidden ingeniously in the rocks and mountains all over Iran, which you cannot bomb out? In the little ships, the thousands of little ships that can run around the Strait of Hormuz, putting landmines in to blow up commercial ships. You don't have a solution for that. We don't. And there's nothing we can do about it. That's why we ask for help. And those little pockets of terrorism will continue even after all of our bombs. See, we did the big thing, but it's in the small game. It's like in golf. You golf, Mr. President, don't you? You know golf is not in the long ball. Golf is in the short game. And that's where we lose in Iran. That's why you're asking for help. And boots on the ground, that's a death pit. There's no way we can win anything in Iran with boots on the ground. It'll be a slaughterhouse against us. So what is the solution, Mr. President? The solution I'm offering you, as I've said, is faith-based. We've got to align ourselves with God's ways if we want God to bless our efforts. And I want God to bless our efforts, our good efforts. I don't want to, you can't bless things that aren't good. I want Him to bless your good intentions, your good efforts. And there are, I believe, many in your presidency. I know people hate you, don't want to say that. But I believe there is. But like I said, I'm not a Trump hater. I don't have Trump derangement. But I'm also not a Trump worshiper. Here's the solution, Mr. President. Humility. Humility. We should be telling the world we regret from the bottom of our heart that we have to bomb people. I wish there was a better way to solve this. And I'm not proud of bombing them. I may be happy that we have maybe stopped some forms of evil, yes. But I cannot ever be proud and gloat over bombs. Humility. Secondly, to know that we are in the image and likeness of God. Every single human being is made in the image and likeness of God. And as St. John Paul II said, therefore, every human being, even our worst enemy, is to be given love and respect. Oh yeah. No, hate is never justified. Hating evil itself, the force of evil, yes, but not persons. Every human being that walks this earth, Mr. President, you know how God sees them? It's how we should see them. No matter how evil they might be, and they can be evil, they always have the potential of redemption. Look at St. Paul. The biggest killer, the biggest hater of Christians, became the greatest Christian. That's how every human being is that walks this earth until their last breath. We cannot use words like vermin. We're going to search them out, find them and kill them. We're just going to bomb them. Aren't you bombing them? Oh, we're great. We're bombing the right people. Oh, look at how great America is. We're known for bombing. Image and likeness of God, every human being. Also, you are the leader of a great nation, a mature nation. You have to speak like that, act like that. You cannot speak like a schoolyard bully, like a gangbanger. You're representing America. And the image that you're putting forth with that kind of rhetoric is turning the world against America. Americans against you. The Iranian people who supported you are going to start peeling away from you one by one. They're already doing it, Mr. President. Take my word. Again, your staff won't tell you this. I will. I didn't come all the way from Chicago to waste your time or my time. A real leader, a real winner, Mr. Trump, I know that you want to be that. You want to be that. You fancy yourself as that. And you have been that in many ways. A real winner does not have to talk about it. His actions, his victory, his integrity speaks for itself. When you're boasting, it means you're insecure. It means you're hiding something. You're lying. You're trying to buffalo people. Do not buffalo the American people, because they will let you know how they feel at the polls. And if I were you, I'd be real concerned about the polls. Finally, Mr. President, America's got the greatest military, right? We're great warriors, right? You know what a warrior is? It's not somebody who goes around bombing people and bullying them and boasting about it. A real warrior is a person of integrity, a calm man of strategy, who does everything to try to avoid killing and bombing. And when they do have to kill or bomb, they never boast about it, never happy about it. They should regret it. Not that they fought evil. They should regret that it came to that. That it came to that. And finally, these are some of the principles. I urge you to study the just war theory of the Catholic Church. Because, you see, the just war theory does something which I believe is your ticket to greatness. All of our tickets to greatness. the cross. The wisdom of the cross says this: something can be this and that at the same time. And where they converge, right there, where they converge, that's where truth is. You can fight a war. You can fight injustice. You can fight evil. You can have a just war. And you can be compassionate and respectful, even towards your enemy. That's the mystery of the cross. Both and. That's what the just war theory says, and so much more. And I ask you, Mr. President, take my word seriously, because I bring you God's ways. You didn't create this world. Neither did I. Neither did Putin. We all think we did. God created it. He laid down the blueprint, the rules, how to live, even how to fight if we have to. But he laid it down. That's why he mounted a cross. He laid it down, though, based on this mystery, that something can be this and that at the same time. We can go to war, unfortunately, death and destruction, but we also must look heavenward at the same time. Otherwise, we're no better than our enemies, Mr. President. We're no better than the enemies who we call out with so many brutish, condescending names. I thank you for your time, Mr. President. I've gone a little bit over time. Tomorrow, I did bring a friend with me from Chicago, from the south side of Chicago. He kind of represents the common man. His name's Joe. I'd like to have him speak with you, if you give him just a minute. Because I think, Mr. President, what else would help you? You have to hear from the heart of the common man. You're surrounded by rich, powerful people. I know you're enamored with that. That's your circle. It's been that way for, I don't fault you for that. You need to hear from the common man. So I hope you'll give him at least a minute. And thank you again, Mr. President, for your time. Remember, the takeaway here is, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you succeed, America to succeed in what are the good intentions, in what God will bless. And I'm giving you the formula to succeed. Please understand that. Take it seriously. I'll be praying for you. God bless you.